Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. It's the 100 sub special. Yeah, 100 sub special. Yes, I have finally made it to 100 subs. So what is this? The 100 sub special. Can you hear me? Are you listening? Are we get me? We've finally done it. We did it. Together we made it. We made it even though we got our backs up against the wall. If you don't know that song, check it out, Google it, YouTube it. It is We Made It by Busta Rhymes featuring Linkin Park. But we're finally here, guys. It's been just under 10 months. It took us just under 10 months to get to 100 plus subs, and we're here, we're here, and it just feels amazing. I literally feel like I've been let into like an exclusive club, like 100 plus. You can come through now, Manga, etc. You're here, like you're welcome here now, and yeah, it's amazing. Like I woke up like one night, I went to bed with 99, and then the next day I woke up and I was on 101. It's just feels great. Can't believe I'm here. Like I just can't believe I'm here. Now some of you are just thinking, just get on with it, bro. Like jump into where's the Q&A? Forget this. Like I'm not. We can have this after. Where's the Q&A? But we can't just jump straight into the fire, guys. You can't just jump straight into the fire because then we'll get burnt. That will cause injury, and we don't want that. So we have to warm up first. Let me warm you up first. Get you ready for the fire. Then we can go into things. So you know what's coming. If you've been a sub of mine for like the longest of times, that you know what's coming. I have to say thank you. I have to. Then we can jump into the fire. Just like for when I reached 10 subs, 25, 50, and 75. I did a video appreciation, a thank you speech. And so I have to do it for 100. It would be wrong not to. I'd be violating you. And if you haven't caught on yet, yes, I'm still stalling for time. I am stalling for as much time as possible. I'm not trying to pee you guys off here. I just want you to enjoy this because it's the 100 sub special, guys. We won't get this again. This time will never come again. The numbers will only get higher. Well, they should only get higher. Okay, let me. I think I've stalled for long enough. Let me say my thank you speech, which I plan to keep as short as possible, and then we'll jump right into the Q&A. The Q&A. Q&A. The Q&A. Is he still stalling? Yes, he is. The Q&A. The Q&A. But I'd just like to say thank you before I jump into the thank you appreciation. I just want to say thank you again, guys, for everyone that gave questions, and no hard feelings if you didn't. I understand, like probably had some sort of reason. Yeah, so if you didn't, no big deal. But thank you to the guys who did. But let's get into the thank you speech now, which I'm going to keep as short as possible. So I just want to say a thank you to everyone, be it you are the boy or girl who said, yeah, bro, go on, you can do that. Like it'll be good. Make a YouTube channel. All the way up to the girl or boy who likes, watches, and shares all my videos. Wherever you fit on that spectrum, on that graph, on that hierarchy, whatever you want to call it, I just want to say thank you for the love and support, and I just hope that I can maintain your love and support. Just hope keep you here as long as possible. I plan to make your experience here as enjoyable as possible, and I hope I can continue to do a good job for you guys. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Let's get into the questions. Okay, so how I decided to do the questions was from personal to anime and manga related, and yeah, that's just how I decided to do the questions. So I'm going to go through the personal ones first, and then we'll go, as it gets on, it gets probably more personal, and then when it gets to its highest point of personal, it goes into anime and manga related. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first question is, how old are you? I'm 24. The person who asked this question thought I might think it was rude, But no, I didn't feel no way about asking this question. Some people say that I look older, and that's because of the facial hair. Like, I'm always rocking my facial hair, except for special occasions where I just trim it all off. But yeah, I don't really care that people say I'm older. I do. It does offend me a bit when you say that I look way older than where I am. That gets on my nerves a little bit. But other than that, I don't really care. I think the worst is when someone said I look 40 plus, and that was without facial hair. I was like, wow, that is really offensive. But yeah, other than that, I don't really mind. So yeah, answer the question again. I am 24. I turned 25 this year. The next question is, what are your other interests besides anime and manga? Well, I like reading. And I'm not just talking about manga. Like, I read books. I've got a bookshelf. My bookshelf is books like Harry Potter, Twilight. Yes, I read Twilight. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, just other Roald Dahl books. I'm looking at my bookshelf now. Just the Common Strike novels. That's still an ongoing series, but I recommend that. But yeah, just I've read Aragon. I've read loads of books. That's one of my main interests. Also cooking and baking. If I remember, I'll include some of the pictures of the cakes that I've baked in this as well. That's just some of my other interests. But just the typical interests. Hanging with friends, going to cinema, going to theme parks, just all that stuff. I'm a basic guy. Nothing high tech about me. The next question is, who is your favorite music artist? I don't have one. I don't really have one, but just so you can get a feel for the kind of music I listen to, I'll list some artists that I'm interested in. So you got Drake, got Lil Wayne, got Kendrick Lamar, got Dwele, you got Janae, Brandy. I don't have a favorite artist, but that's some artist that I'm interested in, that I follow. The next question is, are you a Star Wars fan? Yes, I am indeed a Star Wars fan. I've seen 1 to 6, and I haven't seen the newest one. Throw a question back out to the person who asked me this. Is that something that I need to change? Do I need to do that as soon as possible? Like, I'm not sure if it's still in cinema anymore. So what? Do I need to buy the DVD? Let me know. Okay, so the next question is, what is the most embarrassing thing you can tell your viewers that has happened to you? Now, when I saw this question, let me flip back for a second. Let me just flip back and talk about this question for a second. When I got this question, I was like, wow. And it took me a really, really long time to even think of something embarrassing that I would mind sharing, let alone one at all. Like, it took me a long time, so that after just ages of thinking, I was able to think of 4 things. 2 of those things I just completely cannot share on YouTube. I was like, no, those 2 things cannot be shared on YouTube. And I thought of 2 other things, and they're 2 different situations, and they happened to me when I was really, really younger than I am now. So I don't know if this really gonna answer your question, like fulfill your question, like the response you wanted, but it's the only thing that I can tell. And I'm going to tell you both because in one situation someone embarrassed me, and in the other situation I embarrassed myself unintentionally, but I embarrassed myself. And I don't know what's worse, get embarrassed by someone else or embarrassing yourself. So, and because they happened to me when I was way, way younger, I don't mind sharing both of them with you. So the first one, when you wish I had a glass of water because this is thirsty. Like, I don't think I've talked this long in the video before. But yeah, so the first one, when I guess I'll do when someone else embarrassed me first. So this goes back to when I was 7, 8 or 9. Back then, that was we're going way, way back. But yeah, this is around the times where I had my first crush on a girl, obviously. And yeah, it just goes back to then. So basically, it was my first crush, and I told my eldest friend, my friend, I don't really like the word best friend, but yeah, my eldest friend, my friend that I've known for the longest of time and we're still tight. But yeah, I told him about it. I was like, yeah, got a crush on so and so. I'm gonna keep names out of it. I got a crush on so and so, and we didn't really have time to talk about it because he was trying to force it out of me. It was at the end of the day, and I was on my way home, so we didn't really have much time to talk about it. But the next day I saw him. This was also back in these times. I was a street dancer. If you don't know what a street dancer is, think of the movie You Got Served. If you don't know the movie, then YouTube You Got Served, or YouTube street dancing, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, these times I was a street dancer. So the next day was a Saturday that's when I had my street dancing lessons. So I saw him then on that day. And was in the middle of a class, even when there's something you're interested into, you still find a way to talk within class. And we was talking about it, and he's like, have you told her yet? Have you told her yet? And I was like, no, bro, I haven't done that. And he's like, do you want me to do it? And we was in the middle of a class, but at the time music was playing, so like we was whispering and only we could hear it. And he's like, do you want me to do it? And I was like, no, but you can't do that. He's like, let me do it. And I was like, no, don't do it. But he didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to me at all. So he went to go tell her. Now, as he was going to do it, the music cut out. So like the music was put on pause, the music cut out. So basically everybody heard, I don't think everybody heard him ask, but everyone heard the response, and it was just so embarrassing. It's like, for me, it was like time stood still. Just the whole world was quiet, and just to hear a response, and she was like no. Well, she might have not said no. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was a negative response, and it was just like no. And then she, when you just, your young heart breaks, and you just hear like everybody else in the dance class who was my friends just laughing at me, and it's just like, oh. When I saw the question that I had to answer, that was one thing that immediately came back to mind. And like, it's something that still hurts me now, even now, just to think about it. Not as much as it did back then, but yeah, it definitely does still hurt. The other time I want to tell you goes back to when I was like 11, 12 years old in school, and it was an English class. Now, these times I was really bad when it came to homework. But yeah, it was an English class now, and the English teacher is asking for the homework, and this was one of the genuine times where you forget to do your homework. So he's going around the class collecting the homework, and he comes to me now. I was like, "Where's your homework?" I was like, "Sir, I genuinely forgot." And he's like, "No, I've had enough of you. I'm calling your parents," and and like I had actually genuinely forgot to do my homework on this one occasion. So I was just coming out with like trying to explain the situation, trying to explain to him why I forgot, just getting into a story here. I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but I remember that I broke down like on the inside, and I started crying as I was explaining to it. And being in school, and especially an all boys school, everyone started laughing, and I think it was because I was crying, because you could generally see that I forgot my homework. Definitely because everyone was laughing at me. It's like, all right, forget it, I won't call your parents. And I got away with it. I'm like a champion. I got out of not doing my homework, but like it's not. I did generally forget, and like I generally did cry. I didn't mean to cry. I got teased for that afterwards. But I got out of the situation, and yeah, it was embarrassing because I was in all boys school. And yeah, I probably did get bullied about that for a little bit, crying to get out of your homework. Why are you crying for? But it's a boys' school. Worse things happened later on, and I got out of that. Like it wasn't the talk of the town after like a couple of days, maybe weeks at most. So yeah, I gave you 2 for that one. So be grateful. Sorry if they're not embarrassing enough for you, but I could not tell you the serious stuff. That's too golden for YouTube. Okay, that was the last personal question. Now we'll be moving on to the anime, the good stuff, the anime and the manga stuff. So let's get into it. What is your favorite genre of anime? Action/adventure. Cannot go wrong with that. I love it. Next question is, How long does it normally take you to read a manga chapter? That depends on the chapter itself, but in general, I'm gonna say about 10 to 15 minutes. But in all honesty, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes for that one. Next question. What is the first anime or manga you have ever read slash watched? I'm gonna give you the answer to both. The first anime I ever watched was Dragon Ball Z. Of course, who hasn't started Dragon Ball Z? I remember just the first scene I ever saw of Dragon Ball Z was when Goku was flying back from Slake Way, and I just remember seeing Goku for the first time. I was like, "What? Like, what's this? What's this?" And that was my introduction to anime. I didn't fully understand what anime was at the time, but that was my introduction to anime. Now, as for manga, I cannot be 100% certain with you of what manga I read first. I do know, and that's just me, like judging times of when I think I started reading manga, etc., etc. But I do know that it is one of three mangas: Naruto, One Piece, or this other manga called Hitman Reborn. I do know it was one of those three that I started reading first, but I can't remember which one. Off the top of my head, the first manga I remember reading was One Piece when they were in the auction hall and Kid, and it's one of the first times we see Kid and one of the first times we see Law, and Kid is like talking about Law, and Law looks over to Kid, and Law puts his middle finger up to Kid. The reason why I remember that this was one of the first times that I read, one of the first mangas that I read, because I always remember talking about it, discussing it when it came to the anime version of that, where they cut out the middle finger bit. And that's the only reason why I know off the top of my head that that is one of the first mangas that I ever read. So yeah, I think it's that chapter of One Piece, but if not, it's Naruto, One Piece, or Hitman Reborn. Next question. Who is your number one waifu? I think I pronounced that right. But basically, the question's asking for those who don't really follow anime and manga too tough. It's basically asking who would I pick to be my anime wife if I only had one pick. And I have to say Adult Hinata. Adult Hinata from Naruto. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just with the Byakugan, it's beautiful. If you had babies, they all better have Byakugan. I would have the cutest Blackanese daughter on earth. And it would just be that simple. Like, it would just be that simple. And then, yeah, that's the answer to that one. What is your favorite anime? So now, when I got this question, I didn't know if it meant what is my favorite anime, excluding those that have manga, or what, or did it mean what is my favorite series? So I took it as I thought it was meant, and like what was my favorite series as a whole, like anime manga combined. So that would have to be One Piece. One Piece is it's just it's just the greatness. It's just the greatness. My favorite, like One Piece. Like you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong with One Piece. That's just my bread and butter, my chocolate cake, my ice cream, my large strawberry milkshake, just everything, like everything right about now. Like I love it. It's like there's a general love for it. Without fail, like without fail, manga. Without fail, I'm watching the episode on the Sunday morning. Is that just without fail? Even before, like, because I feel like now that I have my own channel, I can't pause. Like, I have to review things as they come out. But even before that, One Piece was the day it came out. I was reading it, I was watching it, and just yeah, it's just One Piece is my everything. So One Piece. If the question wasn't meant like as that, like what's your favorite series, and it was just talking about anime as in general, then it would be something else because I have a problem with the pacing of the One Piece anime, so that ruins the anime for me. But yeah, if it meant series, then One Piece. What anime power would you have? What anime power would you have, and why? I think that meant like, what if you was to have if you was to have a power, what would you have and why? So for this, I said the Devil Fruit ability. And yes, I know it has a drawback of you can't swim, but I can't swim anyway. So me eating a devil fruit does not affect me at all. So I will chomp on the devil fruit. I don't care how nasty it is, and I'll take the powers and I'd accept them willingly because I can't swim. And now for the exact devil fruit I would take, and some people may find this a bit odd, like you've got so many choices. Why would you take that one? But I would actually take Kuma's devil fruit ability, the Niku no Mi, and for those of you who are not big One Piece fans, I'll explain it to you quickly. It can like deflect just about anything as long as it touches the pause. So if you attacked me with a fist, the attack would bounce back. If you attacked me with something like an airstrike attack, I could bounce that back as long as I'm doing it with the palm of my hand, and to a point where you can even extract the pain of somebody else. Plus, you can send people flying. You can teleport people. You can send them flying as well, and you can also do that to yourself. I would take this devil fruit ability because it would be one of the most useful abilities to have in a normal world. Because that would come in handy for me. Like I can imagine you're just walking home one day, someone comes out to rob you, send them flying, mate, and then I'd use it on myself to teleport myself when I got places to go. I just think like that ability like that would be more useful in the normal world, whereas some abilities will just be basically useless in the real world. For example, Luffy's Gum Gum abilities, they're amazing for the One Piece world because he's got to do a lot of fighting, coming up with Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4. That's helpful in the One Piece world. But in real worlds, like the world we're living in, Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4 are somewhat useless. And we know Gear 4 puts a big strain on the body, so you're not going to go Gear 4 just to fly somewhere. The most I could see like using the gum abilities in normal life is for when like lazy moments, when you sit down and you realize the remote is across the room or something like that, so you could just stretch to it. But yeah, I'm going a bit off topic. But for that question, a devil fruit ability, the Niku no Mi. The next question is, if you could bring one anime character to life and they would be your best friend, who would it be and why? I don't have an answer to that question. I thought about it really, really hard. Really, 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 really hard. And it just came down to the fact where there is no anime character that I'd bring alive to be my best friend. I've got real life substitutions of of anime characters in real life, and like there isn't like a character that I would bring back for the purpose of being my best friend. So sorry, I don't. That's the answer for that one. Next question? What anime are you most looking forward to in 2016? Now I got a feeling I know what you want me to say. I got a feeling I know what you expected me to say, but it's not that. It's not. It's not. The thing that I'm most looking forward to is the next installments of the Digimon Adventure Try. And that simply goes back to because Digimon is like from birth. Like Digimon has been something I watched from birth. Like after Dragon Ball Z it was Pokemon, and then I got on put of Pokemon, and then it was just Digimon. Like Digimon is like one of my childhood animes. So for the fact that they're bringing back the original cast for another adventure, that's why I'm really looking forward to that over seasonal anime. I've only really just started getting into seasonal anime like this year, so I'm not a big seasonal anime follower, so I'm not really looking out for what seasonal anime is starting and etc etc. Other than the Digimon Try film installments that's coming out this year, I am also looking forward to the Itachi anime of the spin-off of the novel that they're doing as well. But number one, Digimon Try. Yeah. Next question. I have lost my place. Oh, here we go. What are your top 5 manga of all time? Now, this question I took like to the letter. So, I haven't actually read that much manga. Like, I'm more of a anime only sort of. That's how I started off. I started off just watching anime. I didn't even know what a manga was, and I can't remember how I figured out what a manga was. But I generally try to focus on just watching the anime. But I break. The anime is too good. I need to know what happens next, so I end up jumping on the manga as well. So here's actually a list of manga that I have read, and that is One Piece, Naruto, Toriko, Fairy Tail, Soul Eater, Hajime no Ippo, and Jacko the Galactic Patrolman. I think I have left something out. One Piece, Naruto, Soul Eater, Toriko, Hitman Reborn, Hajime no Ippo, Fairy Tail, and Jacko the Galactic Patrolman. So that's 8 right there. And you asked me to pick 5. I'm just deciding on it now. So, One Piece, Naruto, Soul Eater, and Toriko. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And I don't know what takes 5th. I don't know what takes 5th. Because with Hajime no Ippo, the manga is really slow. It's like really, really slow. And it's not going to be Jacko. So it's really between Fairy Tail and Hitman Reborn. Now, if you watch my Fairy Tail reviews, you know how I have my problems with Fairy Tail. But just thinking back on... See, Hitman... The thing, if you don't know about Hitman Reborn, it had potential. But because it wasn't doing so well, I feel like the mangaka rushed the ending. So I don't know when it comes. Do you know what? I'm going to say Fairy Tail. I'm spending too much time on it. Fairy Tail. So there we go. One Piece, Naruto, Toriko, Soul Eater, and Fairy Tail. Okay, so the next questions were how/why did you get into YouTube? What made you want to make a YouTube channel? What was your inspiration for what you do on your channel? So I took those questions and I turned it into one super question. What is the origin story of manga, etc.? So it all goes back. Now, these are estimate rough times. I'm not 100% sure these are accurate, but it all goes back to 2012, where I first discovered YouTube reviewing channels. I discovered because at the time I only watched one channel. I was solely like team one channel, like just one. I'd only watched one channel, yeah, and I discovered it, and I just watched it for say a year, maybe a year and a bit, just watching it, just loving his stuff, loving his reviews, etc., etc. And then I started to think to myself, do you know what? I would actually like to do this. And this was after like a year and a bit, and I was like, yeah, I would actually like to do this. So I just started talking to some of my friends as well, and just telling them the ideas. Like, do you know what? I might do a YouTube channel. And they was like, yeah, go for it. So yeah, just like after like probably months of procrastination, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I tried to just go through the stuff that I needed. I needed video editing software, I needed a way to record. So I needed a name, needed a logo, just going through stuff that I felt that I needed. And because I didn't have all these things at the time, I just kept saying, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Fun fact, my first review was supposed to be the last chapter of Naruto, chapter 700, or 699 and 700. I was going to do a live reaction to those, but for reasons I couldn't do that. Now that was back in October 2014, and I didn't start my channel until 2015, the 6th of April. So yeah, that's just a little, so you can see how long it actually took me to start my channel. The reason why I didn't start it then was like, I can't remember actually. But yeah, so I didn't start my channel until April 2015. The reason why my channel is called Manga etc. is because when I was still planning my YouTube channel, the main focus of my channel was supposed to be anime and manga, but I was also gonna do reviews and discussion videos and yeah, on other things as well. But when I actually started it, I was like, right, like just anime and manga alone is taking a lot out of me. So that's why the name of my channel is called Manga etc. And I like the name now, so I didn't decide to change it. So yeah, back then when I was trying to think of a name, I was just basically going on that. I said to myself, my channel was going to be on manga, anime, and other things. So why not call it Manga and etc. So I ran that name by some of my friends, and one of my friends told me cut the and out, so just call it Manga etc. And I was like, Manga etc. I didn't really like it at first, but the more I said it, the more I was like, yo, this got a ring to it. And then yeah, that's how it came about. That's the birth story of Manga etc. So if I never discovered reviewing channels on YouTube, I probably never would have got the idea to be here right now. Yeah, so that's the birth story of Manga etc. So the next question is, what is your favorite anime character of all time and why? Goku. It is Goku, and that's simply because it started off with Goku. Goku's the first anime character I I caught eye contact with. My throat is dry. I need a drink. He's the first anime character I caught eye contact with. He's just the inspiration. All these little things that I like about other characters have probably been taken from Goku. We know that Akira Toriyama, this is going into Akira Toriyama now, the creator of Goku. He's inspired other mangaka, so that's why we have traits of Goku in all our favorite anime characters of now, and even down to just Goku's inspirational even from a child. He's been inspirational. He taught me just to never give up. If you train hard, you will get strong. Yeah, he just taught me all of these things, and I still follow it now. Like when I was younger, everyone within my friends wanted to be Saiyan. We always pretended to becoming Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. Even when we're not playing and we're seriously getting angry, we power up. It's just Goku's been the inspiration from like I said, from when I started watching anime, even down to because loads of animes, they gloss over the training sessions, but not Dragon Ball. I'm not talking about Dragon Ball as a whole series. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I can't remember GT show training scenes as well. But we see it in Dragon Ball, we see it in Z, and it's like all of the characters are training. Like for just off the top of my head now, I'm trying to think of another anime where we see all the characters training. Like for One Piece, for example, we only ever really see Zoro training. But yeah, that's the reason for that. Just Goku's just been the inspiration from the beginning. So yeah, Goku. And the last question, guys. What is your favorite manga chapter of all time? My answer to that is One Piece manga chapter 731. Now, for those of you who don't follow One Piece, are probably asking what happened in that chapter. Even for those of you who do follow One Piece, are trying to think, what was that chapter? What was that chapter? But you hardcore fans, yeah, I see you there. You already know, and you're probably shaking your head in agreement because you understand why I love that chapter so much. Now, for those of you who don't follow One Piece, you may not understand what I'm saying, but for those of you who do like One Piece, this is the chapter where we finally find out that Sabo is still alive. I'm going to get into why this is my favourite chapter in a bit. So I remember the day I was reading this chapter, and because we have the bit where he's still in the Colosseum and this guy comes to talk to him and he's just saying all this stuff. He's saying the stuff that he's saying. And then we see we see Luffy break out in like a facial, like a shocked slash sad facial expression, like the facial expression that he was expressing. And then the very next page, he's out of the Colosseum. So when I read this for the first time, I was like, what? Did I miss a page? So I had to go back and then I flipped forward again. I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't miss a page. So I continued on reading and go. I'm tired now. This has been the longest video I've ever done. But yeah, Luffy's like, he's crying and he's like, I can't believe he's still alive. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's not until we get to the final page where we see the three cups, like symbolizing the three brothers, like symbolizing Sabo. And I'm like, no. I'm like, oh my gosh. I got up and walked away. I remember I was reading, I got up and walked away. I was like, no. What's going on? I was like, hold up. And then I was like, calm down a bit. I came back and I read it again. And I was like, no. I cried. I actually cried. A bit. Tears of joy. There were tears of joy. I was like, no. And I didn't understand when I was crying, but I remember I was like, it's too soon. Like, because I was one of them people, like, I knew Saba was alive. I fully was in the belief of Saba being alive, and I knew he was coming back one day, but when he came back this soon, I was like, no, it's too soon. And I was just like, tears of joy, and like, it was just the best manga moment I've experienced so far, and I don't see how that can be topped. But go ahead and try and top it, I say. Or do me one and just top that. But yeah, that's the answer to that, and that is thankfully the last question. My throat is dry. My stomach just grumbled. But yeah, that's the last question, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed the 100 sub special, the Q&A. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you again to everyone who gave me questions. And yeah, now we move forward, guys. Now we try to get to 200. I don't know how long that's going to take us. I don't know if we can do it, but we can try. And yeah, even if we don't, even if we stay where we are now, I just want to thank you guys again for your love and support. Hope you can continue to do that. Hope we can continue to get great things out of this channel. And yeah, I just wish all the best for you guys and this channel, obviously. And that's all I can do, all I can say and do. But now I'm going to let you guys go. So, like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And take care. Have a nice day.